How's it going, guys? We are back with another video here, and this video is going to be going over all of the potential icons that I'd love to see in NHL 24. So hopefully you guys really do enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. We're gonna hop into this now and see all the potential icons that would be awesome to see added in NHL 24. So starting off with the first player that I want to talk about today is a guy that I really liked watching as a fan. It's Ilya Kovalchuk. The thing is, I'm not sure how it's going to work because, he last played in the KHL. I don't know if there's like a contract or whatever. They have to like come to an agreement. But right now, Kovalchuk is not in the game, and he'd be an awesome one. He's always played so well. His last NHL he was in, I believe, was in NHL 21. It would really be nice to have him back in the game. A pure sniper. Just such a fun card to use all the time. Just player to have in the game here. He really is. I mean, again, one of the greatest goal scorers in the NHL while he played in the NHL. But yeah, he'd be a cool one to have, even though, much as I kind of don't like him after he left the Devils. So then next up, after Ilya Kovalchuk, we got Pavel Datsyuk, who is, again, his last game was NHL 21, but for some reason he was in 21, even though he hasn't been in the NHL in a while, and then he was out of NHL 21. So very weird how that ended up being, but yeah, he has not been in NHL in quite some time right now, unfortunately. He's a guy that would be awesome to have back in the game, and really the Magic Man. I mean, he's one of the greatest players of the 2010s. And then moving on after Pavel Datsyuk, one of his teammates, we're going to go with Henreek, the captain of the Red Wings here. And Zetterberg was a great player, and again, he just retired recently, so now they don't have his rights anymore, and hopefully they get him back in the game at some point. Right now, Zetterberg, I think his last game was NHL 22, I want to say. I'm not 100% certain. Might have been 21 as well, but Henrik Zetterberg, what a player, what a career, and he'd be a great one. And then after Henrik Zetterberg, we got Alexander Mogilny. I mean, Mogilny had a great career, a guy that I think a lot of people think should be in the Hall of Fame. He really did have a great career. It's kind of surprising he isn't in the Hall of Fame, but Mogilny has not been in NHL, I don't think ever, since he actually played. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall him ever being like a legend or an icon player in the series, so I mean, it'd be nice to add him. And then after Mogilny, we got good old Patrick Elias. Yeah, there's a lot of Devils in this list. Is there an issue? Yeah, well, I'm a Devils fan, so I definitely have some bias towards these guys, but they deserve to be in the game. I mean, Elias had a great career, 1,000 NHL points, 400 NHL goals. Again, for a guy that really was more of a playmaker, very impressive. But Patrick Elias should be an awesome one to add into the game. I really love Elias. He hasn't been in an NHL game since, I believe, NHL 17. It's been a really, really long time for him, so it'd be nice to see him getting added back at some point here. Next up, we got a man, rest in peace, Mike Bossy. He would be an awesome one to get added back in the game at some point. I understand he just passed away, so probably maybe not the time yet, but I would say, I think his last game was NHL 18, I want to say, maybe NHL 18. And let me tell you that NHL 18, with him in the game, his shot, it was just like real life. Unbelievable shot. A little bit slow in game, but always a really, really cool player to use. And then after Mike Bossy, we got Paul Kariya, another one that I don't think has ever been in the game as like a legend or an icon since really he played. I really think so. I mean, it's he's a great player. He really is. I mean, he's a really, really great player. And for me, I mean, a guy that was underrated, and of course injuries kind of derailed his career, but still an unbelievable player when he did play. And we all know his classic on the floor, on the board goal. So Paul Kariya being added in NHL 24 would be absolutely sick. And then speaking of Paul Kariya, we gotta talk about Scott Stevens. Again, another Devil. I gotta admit, yes, I did put in a lot of Devils here, but Scott Stevens would be awesome to have in the game, especially with the new hitting in NHL 24. Oh my God. You could line up literally a Scott Stevens hit and just crush somebody, and you could crush him through the glass. I mean, it'd be a lot of fun for sure. So Scott Stevens would be an awesome one to have in 24. I mean, just because of the hitting system alone. And then we got Phil Esposito here. Phil Esposito, one of the greater players of all time here as well. Surprised he's not in the game. I really am. He's actually still involved in hockey and in the NHL, so I'm a little bit surprised that they don't have him in the game, but he just might not be in the Players Association or signed to some sort of contract to be in the game. But Phil Esposito, an all-time great for sure. It makes a lot of sense to have him added into the game, so hopefully NHL 24 is the year for Phil Esposito. And then next up, we got another great player, and it's Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov was something else for sure. I just remember I remember watching him. He was on the Capitals against the Rangers, and he scored an unbelievable goal, I think in Game 7. And I just remember Sergei Fedorov. I remember like hearing that. And yeah, he's a great player back in the day here, and to me, it would be very, very cool to have in the game. I mean, the Red Wings have so many icons as it is, but I don't see why not, why you don't add Sergei Fedorov to the bunch. He would very much so be deserving of it. And then we got Dino Ciccarelli, another guy that scored a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that they really don't have in the game that are really, like, I would say all-time greats, really. He's been one of the greater players. He was one of the greater players for sure that played in the NHL. Kind of a guy that is a little bit forgotten about, just a little bit. But he had a great career. He really did. I would say very much so. Deserving of being in the game. He's a Hall of Famer, so I mean that's kind of all you need to know about him. He's a Hall of Famer, so hopefully he gets added. And now the one that we've been asking for years, and again, has never been an NHL game, Bobby Orr. I mean, Bobby Orr being in an NHL game would be absolutely sick. Again, another guy that's still around the NHL, so it's not like he just like kind of like went ghost. I mean, I just don't know why. Maybe he doesn't want to be in the game. It's possible, right? But it would be so cool if he was on the game. It really, really would be. I mean, he's one of the players that really, he's one of the greatest players of all time that's not in the game. There's not many that are one of the greatest players of all time that aren't in it, and he's certainly one of them. So please, Bobby Orr, sign with EA if you can or whatever. But we need Bobby Orr in an NHL game. We really do. He would just be so fun to use and so cool to have. And then, after the legendary Bobby Orr, we got Pavel Bure, a guy that has been in NHL games before, his last one being in NHL 18. I think pretty much when they went to the alumni system in NHL 19 is when they lost the rights to Pavel Bure. So, man, I mean, he'd be so fun. I mean, he's so fast back in the day in all those games, and just, I don't know, he was just something different. He could just do all these crazy dekes, and Pavel Bure was one of my favorite cards I used growing up playing HUD, like NHL 15, 18. I mean, he was just so awesome. And here's another guy that was actually in old NHL games, Tony Amonte. I think his last game was NHL 18, I want to say as well. But yeah, Tony Amonte, great player for the Blackhawks. I remember his card. I think I had his Hut Hero card back in NHL 17, trying to get all those synergies active. Those hero cards are really cool. I thought that was a great idea back in the day when they used to do that. But Tony Amonte, Blackhawks alumni, I think he'd be an awesome fit to have back in NHL 24. And now a guy that recently has retired, but it'd be cool to have him back, Ryan Getzlaf. Such a strong centerman, just all around. I mean, could do it all. More of a playmaker for sure, but Ryan Getzlaf would be awesome to have back in the game. I know Ducks fans would love that as well, but Ryan Getzlaf, heck of a career. Ducks captain for so long, Stanley Cup winner. I think Ryan Getzlaf will be a pleasant addition to NHL 24. So that's kind of my list for all of the icons / legends that I would like to see added into NHL 24. I want you guys to let me know who you'd like to see. There's definitely probably some guys that I did not mention or I did forget. Please don't get mad at me if I did not mention your favorite alumni player of your team or legend. Listen, it's hard. There's so many great players that have played this sport and so many guys that I probably have forgotten about. And if there's anyone that actually are in the game already in this video, well, I'm sorry because I don't think that's true. But that kind of wraps up all the guys that I wanted to mention in today's video. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. As always, I appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know who you guys want to see as well when it comes to potential legends or icons. Again, I feel like EA, I'll give them credit. They have a lot of good ones in the game currently, but still, there's always more that you'd like to see them add in the future. So, as always, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. Follow me on Twitch, Henreek, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Henreek with 3 E's, and join the Discord to talk to me, followers, and subscribers of the channel. And I'll see you guys all in the next video.